See? They don't care, do they? They ain't worried about going to work in the morning or buying a new flat screen television or getting a promotion, paying their bills, having to buy food. They're eating the grass from the ground, literally, because they're animals. They admit that they're animals. They are still aware that they are animals. We, who are also animals, have forgotten that a little bit. But anyway, that's just off the top of my head. Hopefully we'll get back to that. What I need to get back to is the point where I ended my last video, my first video, and my last video was yeah, the notion of heaven and hell. I did actually make quite a bold statement that mankind will be headed via heaven or hell, and I think I need to qualify that. Obviously I spent a lot of time explaining what I mean by the word God yesterday, what I believe that word to mean, and you know, to end my video on the notion that the entire human race would be headed towards heaven or hell, I think it only fitting that I explain my interpretation of those words as well. So I think they're real ideas. Again, like God is a real idea. I think they've been designed, they've been believed since the beginning of time, or the beginning of mankind, shall we say. Who knows what animals believe? Maybe they believe that too in some way. Yeah, and I think they exist for a reason. Again, these ideas, they exist for good reasons, because they, again, it's people's attempts to explain what's happening, people's interpretation of what happens. And again, I think they're totally metaphorical things. At the same time, they're real things. They're real forces, you know. It's, you know, like positive and negative clashing against each other, and we call it good and evil. We think that they exist in places called heaven and hell. You know, some people prefer to call it like darkness and light, black and white, yin yang. So many different ways, again, of explaining the same thing. But I think there is a real thing, and I think that, you know, we can see evil around us in the world. We can certainly see people that do terrible things to other human beings, and we can see people totally motivated by their own selfishness, so much so that they're willing to hurt and destroy the lives of others, and, you know, millions of people at a time, certainly hundreds of thousands of people at a time, being displaced and slaughtered in genocide all over the world with nothing but financial profit. You might imagine I'm going to speak about the notion of finances and profit in another video, because I will do that. But anyway, now I'm talking about heaven and hell, good and evil, darkness and light. They're all the same things, you know. They're negative and positive, opposite energies, and they govern our lives, and they give us impulses, and they're a part of God too, by yesterday's definition, my own definition. And you know, you can either give in to evil and you can live your life in a selfish way, and you can live it for pure exhilaration, pure pleasure, pure power, and you can hurt other people in the process. Or you can live your life for good, which is helping those around you, giving love everywhere around you, because you know that the love will be returned to you. I mean, it's just such a crazily simple notion that if you spent your life, and I'm not disparaging people that don't do this, and I certainly am one of those people. I don't live my life helping others all the time, no, not at all, but it's an idea that I think would be nice, and would be easier if we worked together to achieve, because you know, we have been raised as selfish people by the system that we live in, and we're forced into that. We're forced into worrying about our survival, because, you know, we're unlike these horses. We actually have to find money in order just to eat, or to have, you know, comfortable shelter or something like that. We're living in a society, we're born into society with no choice of our own, and we got to pay for it, you know. We're just about the only animal on the earth that does that anyway. But don't digress. Goodness, darkness, blackness, evil, good. I think these are real ideas, and I think people have tried to explain these ideas with notions like heaven and hell, and, you know, it's all metaphor for the way that we live now. You know, the world is always going to exist in one form or another. The universe is always going to exist in one form or another. That's all the universe ever does, is try to exist. And the forces inside it, you know, react in certain ways and produce, you know, certain events. And, you know, we are one, as mankind, we have become one of the most powerful agents of those forces, one of the most powerful executioners of those forces. You know, we really can make a choice about the way we live for the benefit of all mankind, and it's a very simple choice. And again, there are certain steps which hopefully we'll have a chat about one day. But yeah, that's what I mean by heaven and hell. I don't think it's a place in the sky with clouds where, you know, that old geezer God lives, and I don't think hell is you know, by the same token, Old Nick's manor, where down below, for the fire and brimstone. But it's a state of mind, it's a state of being, it's a state that you can choose to live within or without, you know. And I think, again, the oldest ideas and most widely propagated ideas are that way for a reason. You know, you get people like the Catholic Church or whatever, telling you to fear hell and that you will go there and be punished for your sins, and it's a way of regulating people's behaviour. And you know, the setups, not only Catholics, obviously, you know, Muslims. I know a lot of Muslims that pray because they're frightened of God, not because they love God, you know. And you know, they are, it's another, as we know, as most intelligent people know, the church is just another form of state control. You know, it's just another branch of it, like the police or the military, you know, whatever other institutions we have. I probably would like to put television on that list. Anyway, yeah, you know, heaven and hell are real ideas, again explained in a particular language. They equate for me to good and evil, and they're entirely under the control of your actions. I will end. I didn't want to, you know, just tell this story, get all cheesy like one of these Facebook memes that get posted or something, but it is brilliant and it does explain it perfectly. A Native American chief said this. He pictured the struggle between good and evil as though a fight between two dogs inside him, and he said it was a constant struggle. The dogs were always fighting, and you know, he couldn't. It was happening without his consciousness. It was just there inside him, and it affected him. Whatever. Cut a long story short. Somebody said, well, so which dog's the winner? And he said, the one that I feed the most. So that's it, you know. If you give in to the evil, it will become you, and if you give in to goodness, I hope that will become us all. So that's my thought for today. Might post another video tomorrow or even a bit later today, depending on how inspired I feel. Keep tuned in. Mike Hunt, thank you.